let's talk about the Odyssey. These are all books on ancient Greek history, mythology, philosophy, and I've read all these books when I was in university. I had to study them, I had to do essays on them, I studied for the tests, I did the presentations, I argued the debates, I've read the different translations, and the reason I'm showing all these books and showing that I've read the Odyssey, I've read multiple translations of it, is because I want you to really hear what I have to say about how Christopher Nolan's adaptation of the Odyssey compares to the written story of Homer.
It doesn't fucking matter.
I think we've all started to kind of really lose the plot here. Homer didn't even write the books. He was an oral storyteller in the oral tradition, and he passed these stories down, and they got passed down for generations and generations until somebody at some point decided to write them down. My grandfather was probably the greatest storyteller that I ever knew, and in the 24 years of my life that he was alive, some of the stories I heard him tell 50, 60, maybe even 100 times, those stories, he never told them exactly the same way. But the fact of the matter was, no matter where he was like a beacon for people. It's something that we all do. Have you ever told a joke or heard somebody tell a scary story around the campfire? And everybody who tells them, who does a really great job telling them what scares you or makes you laugh, is able to take the details and modify them so that they are related to the circumstances that surround them and the people they're telling the story to. That's how people connect to a story, and that's what makes a great story. So when we're looking at the Odyssey and we're looking at Christopher Nolan's adaptation of it, I saw the movie and I thought it was possibly the best movie I've ever seen, and it's because to tell a story properly, you have to put yourself into it. The way that Christopher Nolan visualized the story and the way it was told was gripping. There were tense moments, there was sadness, there was really emotionally charged, and that's what a good story does. It captures us, and it makes us feel, and it brings people together. The other thing I want to mention too is, like, if two different people are trying to translate ancient Greek and they have a different understanding of what the meaning of a word translates into, then it's going to change the entire context of the story. So it's just ridiculous to me to be arguing about the accuracy of the story from the written pages of these books, because Homer wasn't like a writer. So anyways, I thought this was a fantastic adaptation. I loved this story, and I think that the way that Christopher Nolan portrayed it on the screen was brilliant. The casting was brilliant. I genuinely can't think of one thing about this movie that I disliked, apart from the fact that it was shot on IMAX and it's so inaccessible for so many people to see the way that he brought it forward. But I mean, that just is what it is, and we saw it in regular theaters, and I enjoyed it immensely. So that's my take on the Odyssey. Let me know what you think.